Lucy. Hi, Daniel. It's Andy. Sorry we haven't been in touch for a while, but we've sort of been busy. Just wondering if you guys fancy babysitting for the next 10 years. Failing that, Dan, how about a drink? Soon. Please. Yeah.
Oh, God, beer's good. I've almost forgotten.
Of course you have. You're hardly ever here these days.
Well, obviously I'm not. I've just become a father.
Well, if I'd just become a father, I'd always be in the pub. So you're enjoying it then?
No time to enjoy it. Too busy not sleeping, eating properly, or having a life of my own.
Why, you want to get a routine sorted?
Oh, we've got one. We do whatever little Japonica decides she wants us to do, when she wants us to do it. You should try it sometime.
No, thanks, mate. Lucy and I like children as long as there's someone to hand them back to when they get all red and irrational.
Yeah, she's very good at that.
All babies are.
Yes, but the other night, Japonica was screaming for ages before I remembered that now it's me who has to do something with her.
And what do you do with a baby who won't stop crying?
Well, eventually you just join in and keep them company. I tell you, my daughter only stopped screaming long enough to eat, burp and sleep.
Sounds like a good life to me.
Do you know, last night, for the first time, she actually slept for 6 whole hours.
So at least you and Katie got some rest.
Not a bit of it. We spent all night wide awake and running in every 2 minutes to check she was still breathing.
And was she?
Of course she was. She was sleeping like a baby.
Well, that's what she's meant to do.
Yeah, but what that means is that you know that at any moment she's going to wet herself and wake up screaming and hungry. I tell you, the only people who say they sleep like babies are people who don't have them, like you and Lucy.
I thought having children was meant to keep you young.
It may do, but it makes you feel old. Same again, please, John.
Coming up.
Anyway, Dan, Katie and I have got something we want to ask you.
What's that?
It's about Japonica.
If it's, do Lucy and I know what we're missing out on by not having children, then the answer is yes, we do. Sleepless nights, no visits to the pub, and going grey prematurely.
No, it's nothing like that. We wanted to know if you'd like to be her godfather.
Japonica's godfather? I mean, you're having her christened?
Yes. Well, I mean, it was more Katie's idea than mine.
But why?
Well, she said she wanted her to have a proper name.
It's a bit late for that, isn't it?
Do you fancy it?
Well, Andy, don't get me wrong. I'm really flattered you asked, but I really don't think I'm up for the job.
Well, I don't think you have to do much.
Well, I think you'll find you have to make a faithful promise to bring the child up in the beliefs of the church.
Do you?
Yeah, of course you do. What did you think you did? Offer to stick the odd horse's head in the bed of anyone who annoys her?
Well, I don't know, really. I'm godfather to my brother's kids, and all I have to do is not forget their birthdays and take them to a football match every now and then.
Andy, that's terrible.
I know. They support Watford. But, I mean, I figure as a godfather you have to make sacrifices.
Agreeing to be a godparent, it's a big commitment. And it helps if you believe in God. I'm agnostic. I don't even have enough faith to be an atheist.
So you don't fancy it, then?
Sorry, no, it would be against my non-beliefs. The best I can offer is secular, non-specific deity parent.
What's that, then?
I'll always remember her birthday, and I promise I'll take her to see The Lion King when she's old enough.
OK, that'll do.
Not upset, are you?
No, not at all. I respect your feelings. And as I said, it was Katie's idea anyway. Cheers.
Cheers.
Hello? Katie, hiya. How's Japonica? Oh. Ugh. Does that wash out easily? Good. What? Godmother? Me? Oh, I'd love to. How exciting. Oh, there's just one thing, Katie. Can I wear a hat to the church? Brilliant. Oh, I'm sure Dan will be thrilled.
Oh, but I told Andy that we wouldn't.
Why did you tell him that?
Well, because I don't think we're the right people to be godparents.
Why not?
Because we're not religious, for a start.
So, what's it got to do with religion? It's just a nice thing to do. A way of making sure we keep in touch with our friends.
Is it?
Yeah.
OK, then, were you christened?
I think so, yeah. I'm sure I was.
And who are your godparents? Because I don't think I've ever met them.
Oh, they were a rather odd couple. Fred and Liz, they were friends of Mum and Dad's, but fell out over something.
Well, you see what I mean?
No, that was different. They had a big difference of opinion about something definite. That's not going to happen with us and Andy and Katie.
They might do. I mean, I think they are being hypocritical about this christening. They don't even go to church.
No one goes to church. We're C of E, we don't have to.
But they haven't even given her a proper Christian name. I mean, I don't remember any Japonica in the Bible being told, go forth and multiply, but don't forget to prune yourselves back in late summer.
Honestly, Dan, what's got into you? Never knew you felt so strongly about this.
Well, neither did I until Andy mentioned it. I just think if you're not religious, you shouldn't have your children christened. Or agree to be a godparent.
It's no big deal.
Isn't it? So what are you going to have to do in the church?
Right, stand at the front with the priest.
Vicar.
Yeah, him. Whilst he makes the baby cry by dunking her into that bird bath thingy.
You mean the font?
Yeah, that's the thingy. Then we all have our photos taken and we go and have a bit of a booze up.
Oh, come off it, Lucy. You know what really happens. We've been to enough christenings.
Never actually paid any attention to them. Actually, whenever I am in church, I do tend to spend a lot of time feeling like I shouldn't be there and I've done something terribly wrong.
Exactly. So how are you going to feel when you make your declarations?
What declarations?
That you renounce the devil?
Well, that's not difficult, is it? I mean, what else are you going to do with him? He's the devil. You're not going to invite him round for a dinner party, are you?
The devil and all his works.
Does that include chocolate?
Of course.
Oh, God, what else?
Are you a practising member of the faith?
I sometimes listen to Thought for the Day. Does that count?
Well, depends who's on. If John Humphrys books a rabbi a couple of days a week, brings your average down, doesn't it?
I suppose so. What else?
That you promise to raise Japonica as a member of the church.
Ah.
Exactly. Ah. Are you going to take her to church every Sunday morning?
Sunday morning? I didn't know Sundays had mornings.
Well, they don't in this house. That's what you're faithfully promising to do. Instruct her in the ways of the Christian faith.
Oh, dear. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's not very us. And I've also just remembered why Mum and Dad fell out with their friends, Liz and Fred.
Why was that?
Well, after I was born, they thought they turned a bit funny. They reckoned they got all religious.
Hello, Lucy.
Alison, this is a nice surprise. Come on in.
I can't stop.
Oh, right, so you were just passing and wanted to let us know that you couldn't stop?
Yes.
OK, well, thanks for letting us know. I'll tell Dan. Bye.
No, I mean I can't stop for long.
Oh, right. Well, can you stop long enough to come in?
Of course, that's why I came round, but only for a minute.
Of course.
Hello, Daniel.
Hi, Alison. What brings you round?
For your own sake, Dan, don't go there.
Fair enough. So how are Peter and the kids?
They've got a bug.
Does that mean they're ill, or have they got a new pet?
Jane picked it up at school and gave it to Michael. Then as she was getting over it, Michael gave it back to her, and then they both gave it to Peter. So I've left all three of them at home while I get the last-minute Christmas shopping.
Right. Alison,
Yes.
it's July.
So?
Not exactly last minute, is it?
Oh, you can't wait until December. The shops are all so crowded and you can never find the toys the children want. It's dreadful.
That's because people like you have bought them all 6 months previously.
Well, you have to, don't you? We learnt a hard lesson with Buzz Lightyear.
Did you? Alison?
Yes.
Why is it we can never understand a word that you say?
I don't know.
Anyway, Alison, what can we do for you?
Well, I just wanted to know what you want for Christmas.
Do you know we really haven't thought about it?
I have.
Have you?
Yeah. I'd like the new Radiohead CD.
The new what?
Radiohead. They're a band. Group of musicians?
Oh. So what's it called?
I don't know. They haven't released it yet. They probably haven't recorded it either, so it shouldn't be sold out yet. If you see it, I'd like that.
Right. It's just that I've got you down on my list for a photo frame.
But you got us a photo frame last year.
And the year before that. In fact, that's all you ever get it.
I know, but it's so difficult to know what to get you to.
That seems remarkably easy. It's always a photo frame.
I thought you could put a nice photo in it.
Now, that's an idea.
See, I think we've run out of photos that need framing.
No, we could always take a photo of all our other photo frames and have that framed.
See, they always come in handy.
Or we could frame a photo of you and your lovely goddaughter.
Have you got a goddaughter, Lucy?
Yes, some friends of ours asked me and Dan to be godparents.
Oh, that's nice. I'm just a bit surprised. I didn't think that would be your sort of thing.
No, I'm starting to think it isn't.
Well, I think it's very nice you're going to be godparents. Shows you're growing up at last.
Don't count me in on this. I've refused.
Well, Daniel, that's just what I'd expect from you. So, what are you going to get her, Lucy?
Get who?
Your goddaughter.
Oh, I don't know. Do I have to get her a present?
Of course you do. And you'd better hurry up before Alison here buys everything.
Well, what sort of thing shall I get her?
It has to be something she can keep.
And something suitably religious. Which is a pity. Otherwise we could have given her one of our spare photo frames.
How about a St. Christopher? That's a typical sort of thing to give, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Why not?
You shouldn't give bright, shiny objects to babies. She might choke on it.
I wasn't thinking of an edible one.
No, but they always put anything like that straight in their mouths, and you wouldn't want that, would you?
That would be horribly ironic, wouldn't it, to choke to death on a St. Christopher? How unlucky can you get?
How about a crucifix?
Yes, they're probably slightly more difficult to swallow.
Oh, I didn't know being a godparent could be so lethal.
Well, that's babies for you, as you'll find out when you have your own.
Alison, how many times do we have to tell you we're not going to have any of our own?
Well, we'll see. I think you're changing.
No, I'm not changing. I'm 35 and I've done all the changing I want to do.
I didn't mean you. I meant the new godmother here.
What?
Well, you wouldn't have done this a few years ago, would you?
I've never been asked before.
Of course you haven't. We didn't ask you to be Jane or Michael's godparents because we knew you wouldn't. But now you have, we would. If we hadn't already.
No, you've lost me again.
All I'm saying is I think your attitude's starting to change, Lucy. Before you know it, you'll be broody.
Alison.
Yes.
I think it's time you were going, don't you? I mean, you've only got about 180 shopping days left. You don't want to be caught in the rush.
You're right, I must be off. Would you like me to pick up this crucifix for you whilst I'm out?
Thank you, Alison. That would be very kind if you would.
OK, I'll try and find a nice one for you. I'll leave you two to think about what I've said.
Dan.
What?
I don't think I can do this godmother thing.
Well, I must admit, I can't honestly see you as thought I heard.
You're right. I'd be a hypocrite. I don't go to church. We didn't get married in a church. I even hide behind the sofa and pretend I'm out when the Jehovah's Witnesses call.
Well, everyone does that. That's probably why they believe the world's about to end. Every time they knock on the door, all the lights go out and everything goes all silent and ghostly. All I'm saying is, if you don't believe in something, you shouldn't have to pretend that you do.
You're right. I'll have to tell them I've changed my mind.
Well, I'm glad. But you're not doing this because of me, are you?
No, it's because your sister-in-law told me that she thinks I've grown up.
Aye, she's your sister-in-law too, you know.
Dan, you have to remind me. I'm feeling bad enough as it is.
Sorry.
The day she thinks I'm grown up enough is the day I know I'm too old.
Katie's upstairs feeding Japonica, as usual.
How long does that take?
About 6 months. She's hardly come up for air since she was born.
And how is Katie?
Drained. Literally. She's delivering more milk than Unigate. But at least it's one job I don't have to do myself.
Well, it's all right for you men.
Hardly. It's my job to deal with the other end. I'm the happy nappy chappy.
What a team.
Oh, yeah. Although, Dan, there is something you ought to know about Katie.
Hi, Lucy. Oh, how nice to see you.
Hiya, Katie.
Hello, Katie.
Oh, Daniel, you're here.
Yeah, we just thought we'd pop in and see how you guys were doing.
We're fine. But it's not very convenient for you to just pop in.
Why not?
You're upsetting Japonica's schedule.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is she busy?
She's asleep.
Well, we didn't come to see Japonica. We came to see you. And anyway, you told Lucy it was nice to see us.
I told Lucy it was nice to see her. She probably did come round to see Japonica because at least she's her godmother.
Oh, dear.
Katie, would I be right in thinking that you might be a bit upset about something?
Oh, no, of course not. If you feel, for whatever reason, that you don't want to make a commitment to our daughter's future, then that's just fine.
You are upset.
That's what I thought you should know.
Of course I'm upset. You're our oldest friends.
I know, and I'm sorry, but it's a matter of principle.
Dan, since when have you started having principles?
I admit I don't have many. I've always tried to avoid them on the grounds that they tend to stop you doing things that you enjoy, like eating meat or watching daytime TV, but I do feel strongly about this.
I think you might be making a bit too much of this, Dan. After all, it's not like it's important.
If it's not important, then why are you getting upset about it?
We're not.
Yes, we are.
That's right, yes, we are. Sorry, I forgot.
Look, let's not blow this thing out of all proportion here.
We're just disappointed that you couldn't do this one little thing for us and our baby.
Well, I'm sorry, but for me it's not such a little thing. I don't like churches. Last time I was in one, they buried my granddad.
In all fairness, Dan, he was dead.
I know he was, but that's not the point. I just feel like a hypocrite.
Oh, so you're calling us hypocrites?
No, I'm saying that maybe... I'm saying possibly... Look, I think that you're wrong.
Katie, I'm sure Dan didn't mean it like that.
No, I think it's good that Dan speaks his mind. Anything else you want to accuse us of? Bigotry? Narrow-mindedness? Child cruelty, perhaps?
You're overreacting.
So now we're hysterical as well.
Oh, Katie, come on. Look, you're right. We are your oldest friends and we don't want to fall out over this.
Yes.
Don't worry, Lucy. We won't. Because even if Dan's being unreasonable about this, at least you're going to be Japonica's godmother, aren't you? Well, aren't you?
Well, yes. Yeah, of course I am. I'm really looking forward to it. Well, that went well, didn't it?
Oh, yes. Although without wishing to inject a note of unnecessary pessimism, I kind of feel that it could have gone just a touch better, don't you?
She was a bit upset, wasn't she?
Oh, you noticed it too. Good. I'm glad it wasn't just me.
She seemed a bit happier at the end.
Only when I said I was going. Although I thought you would have stayed, Lucy. You could have anointed the baby with a bit of frankincense or myrrh.
I don't think Boots stock it.
Well, you could have got the Archbishop of Canterbury to say a prayer over a bottle of Calvin Klein and used that. They'd never have noticed the difference.
Dan, give it a rest.
Well, I just want to say thanks for all your support in there. I thought you were on my side.
You know I'm right behind you on this.
Of course you are. Best place to be when you're stabbing someone in the back.
Oh, now who's overreacting?
I'm just saying we could have presented a united front, joined together and stood by our principles.
And never seen our friends again.
They'd have got over it if we'd both explained. But now it just looks like I'm being bloody minded while you're doing your impression of Mother Teresa of West Kensington.
Dan, that's not fair.
So why are you doing it?
For our friends, believe it or not.
Oh, well, that's very Christian of you. I just hope you can live with yourself. Whoa!
Look, Dan, I said I'd be Japonica's godmother because Katie asked me, and I thought it would be a nice thing to do. Now, having thought about it again, I wish that I hadn't. I made a mistake, but I'm going to do it because, unlike you, I do care about their friendship. But I can't do it with you constantly sniping down at me from your high horse and your ivory tower on your moral high ground.
How am I going to get a horse up an ivory tower?
You've built a big lift in it, but don't you change the subject. I'm serious, Dan. This is starting to make me really unhappy.
I'm sorry.
Now, I want to know, do you really think I'm a hypocrite?
Lucy, I don't...
Do you?
No, of course I don't.
Are you saying that because it's what you honestly believe, or are you saying it because you love me? Honestly.
Because I love you.
Okay. So now you know why I'm doing it. Because I love them. Okay?
Okay. Sorry. Been a bit thoughtless, haven't I?
You've missed out. High-handed and pompous, but yes, you have.
It's just so meaningless. I mean, if Andy and Katie were Buddhists, they wouldn't expect us to be Bud parents, would they?
Probably not. Oh, but anyway, it's all right for you. I'm the miserable sinner who's going to be punished horribly by God for going through with it.
You'll understand.
How do you know? The way you've been going on, I'm going to end up burning in the eternal fires of hell.
It won't be anything like that. First offence, he'll probably let you off with a caution.
You think?
Yeah, as long as you don't re-offend, buy lots of copies of The Big Issue, and make sure you're in when the Jehovah's Witnesses come knocking, you'll be all right.
Hope so.
I didn't get you a crucifix in the end.
Why not?
Because you didn't tell me which sort you wanted.
What do you mean? I wanted one that looked like a cross.
Yes, but did you want a plain one or one with a little man on it?
A little man?
Yes, you know the ones.
Alison, they don't stick Charlie Chaplin on them, you know.
I know that. Anyway, I didn't want to get the wrong one, so I got something else for her instead.
Really? What did you get?
Well, I tried to get her a Poe.
Well, she's not going to use that. She's still in nappies.
But I could only manage a la-la.
A what?
You know, Tinky Winky, Dipsy, La-la, Poe.
A Teletubby.
Yes. What do you think?
I'm expected to walk into church holding a bright yellow Teletubby as a sign of my commitment to my goddaughter's spiritual development.
It makes a noise if you squeeze its tummy.
Oh, God, that's it. I am going to hell.
Are you ready yet, Lucy? Come on, you're not even dressed.
Dan.
I wanted to stop off for a swift one on the way to the church. Even if you don't need one before you stand before the face of the Lord, I do before I face Katie again. So come on, get a move on.
Dan, I'm late.
No, you're not. We haven't got to be there for over an hour. But if you don't hurry up, you will be. And whilst it's traditional for a bride to be late to the church, I don't think the same applies to a godmother.
No, Dan. I mean, I'm late.
Late?
A week late.
You're not talking about what I think you're talking about, are you?
You know, you said God might let me off with a caution.
Yeah?
I have a terrible feeling that's what he's gone and done.
But you can't be. I mean, you're not pregnant, are you?
I don't know.
Not with a baby.
Well, I don't think I can be pregnant with anything else, do you?
But a baby? How could you have let that happen?
I think you might have had something to do with it as well.
But I thought we couldn't have children.
We don't know that. We've never had a test.
I wouldn't say that. Every time we see our niece and nephew, it seems pretty conclusive.
But that only proves that we don't like them, not that we can't have them.
Why didn't you tell me before?
Because I wanted to be sure. Not that I am sure, but it's been a week now.
Well, do you feel pregnant?
I don't know. What does pregnant feel like?
I don't know. You put on any weight?
Since when? I mean, I used to be 8 pounds, but that was a very long time ago.
I mean in the last week.
I don't think so. I don't know. I was thinking about getting one of those things that tell you if you're going to have a baby.
We've already got one of those. It's called Alison. She's been telling us for years that we are. I can't bear the thought she might have been right all along.
Oh, no. Having a baby would be traumatic enough, but having Alison saying, "I told you so," would be intolerable.
Yeah, could we just not tell her?
I think she'd notice. Alison's got an eye for things like that. Oh, God, Dan, what are we going to do?
Don't panic.
Why not? Panicking seems as good an idea as anything.
Look, if we are going to have a baby, it's not going to be so bad.
Oh, this must be some new meaning of the words "not so" and "bad" that I haven't heard before. It would be a disaster.
Look, Katie and Andy have managed okay. Admittedly, they had to adjust.
Oh, you mean by becoming barking mad?
Yeah, but if they can do it, why can't we?
Because I don't want to. I don't want to start taking holidays at Disneyland and Centre Parks and buy a people carrier with a "keep your distance, baby on board" sticker on the back. I'm happy with our 2-door hatchback saying, "Childless couple, please feel free to smash into the back of us." I like our lives the way they are, Dan. I mean, it's bad enough dealing with other people's children.
That's true enough.
God, imagine what it would be like if we had our own.
Must I?
You might have to.
Oh, Lucy, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
We know you weren't very happy doing it.
Yeah, the way you had your fingers crossed the entire time was a bit of a giveaway.
You noticed.
Yes, and I think the correct response to the question, "Will you raise this child into the ways of the church?" is, "Yes, I will," rather than, "Oh, go on then if I must."
Mind you, it was better than when the vicar asked you who you believed the saviour and one true God was, and that thing in your handbag said "La La."
Yes, sorry about that. I was very tense. I think I was squeezing it too hard. I did my best.
You did fine. And you have a lovely goddaughter.
Oh, it's okay, Dan. You don't have to overdo it. I've forgiven you. And you are probably right about this christening. It is a rather strange thing for us to want to do.
But that's the thing about having children. It makes you want to do strange things.
So we're not going to fall out over this?
No, of course we're not.
Good, I'm glad.
In fact, there's only one thing we'd fall out over.
What's that?
If you two ever had a child of your own, you're our last link with non-parenting sanity. I don't know what we'd do if you became like the rest of us.
It's not that bad, is it?
I mean, maybe Daniel and I could make quite good parents.
You two? With a child? Social services will be around like a shot.
We'd look after it.
No, they wouldn't be coming for the baby. It's you they'd be taking into care. Trust me, as one who knows, not having children is the best thing you've never done.
I thought you were really happy being parents.
Oh, we are.
Yes, definitely. Wouldn't change it for the world. Couldn't change it, really.
You can't send them back once they're here.
Yeah, talking about not being able to change your children, is it just my imagination or has Japonica filled her nappy again?
Oh, no, not again. Can you do it this time?
It's your turn.
It's always my turn.
Well, it's always me a feeder.
And that's what causes the problem. Can't you wait till we get home?
Could you?
Okay. I'll go and see if I can find somewhere to change her.
Well, don't do it on the altar. If anyone sees you, they'll think you're sacrificing her. I better go and help. See you back at the house.
Well, if your suspicions are right, I don't think we'll be nominated for the Best New Parent of the Year award by Katie and Andy.
No, I have a horrible feeling they might be right.
I've got an even worse feeling that they're definitely right.
Oh, God damn, what are we going to do?
Relax. We still don't know for sure. We've just got to keep calm until we know for sure.
And then what do we do?
Then we go to pieces, agreed?
Agreed.
And whatever happens, everything's going to be okay. Okay?
Okay.
So, this is it then.
This is it.
It looks like a lolly stick. What do we do with it?
Stick it under your tongue. Honestly, Dan, what do you think we do with it?
I don't know. I've never done a pregnancy test before.
Obviously. You're so stupid you'd fail.
Well, here's hoping. So what do you do with it?
You wee on it. Or rather, I wee on it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well?
Well, what?
What, are you going?
Yes.
Well, if you go then.
Right. Right. Wish me luck.
Lucy, you're only going to the bathroom. How much luck do you need?
You know what I mean.
All right. Good luck.
Dan,
What?
I can't go.
What do you mean?
I'm too tense.
Well, just relax.
How am I meant to relax? I'm trying to wee on a lolly stick. This sort of thing is easier for boys.
Well, I'd come in and do it for you, only I think we might get a false reading. Mind you, if it came out positive, I'd be worth a fortune. That really would give Alison something to think about, wouldn't it?
Dan.
What?
Shut up. I'm trying to concentrate.
Concentrate on what?
Waterfalls, rivers, you know the sort of thing.
No.
Shh.
Da, 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 da,
Daniel.
Da, da. Sorry.
Look, I can't do it with you outside.
I'm trying to help.
Well, you're not. There are some things that a girl's got to do for herself, and I think weeing on a lolly stick falls neatly into that category. Can't you just go away?
Go away where?
I don't know. The pub.
I don't want to go to the pub.
Yeah, well, I could do with a pint, so go and get me one.
Oh, I reckon it would just have been quicker to wait for 9 months. Lucy? Lucy? Lucy, you're going to be much longer in there. I'm bursting now.
Be quiet. Dan,
What?
I can't stop now.
Oh, for God's sakes.
OK. Done it.
So, what now?
We'd look at these little windows, the round one and the square one.
What about them?
We'll see a blue line through the round window.
Oh, it's just like play school, isn't it? What are we looking for through the square window?
Another blue line.
And if we see one, what does that mean?
It means we're going to be spending a lot of time at Centre Parks.
Right.
Dan, hold my hand.
Can you see anything?
I think everything's going to be okay.